It's the Herb and Raj podcast, joined by a very special guest tonight. And, Raj is here too, so try to love him.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to get you started here in 20 seconds. Oh, the handshake always gets me hyped, man.
Yes,
it's
like the beginning of the show.
Yes, sir. So, Raj, very special guest coming in with us tonight, and there's already a Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Before we hold on, before we get to the introduction, let me apologize to everybody. I missed last week. I was on daddy duty, so sorry about that, guys.
Stop. We don't apologize for daddy duty.
Herb and Randy did an awesome job, though. Shout out to Herb and Randy.
But we don't do apologize. Raj, you were missed, but we don't do apologies for daddy duty. So we love you and we're happy to have you back. So,
right,
but very, very special guest, Raj.
Yes.
Do you know that just last year he fought a Wolverine and won?
Whoa!
Yes. You didn't know that, right?
I've never met anybody that fought a Wolverine.
Yes. Well, this man is Okay. Many people think that the assistant coach was coaching when Harbaugh was gone. It was actually him behind the scenes. Yeah, he just didn't want to be on camera.
I knew it. Yep. I could tell.
Yeah. And he had been working with Tommy DeVito week to week, and that's why you saw such great improvement last night.
He's the DeVito whisperer.
Okay.
Yes. Gotcha.
Better than Danny. Much better than Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome on, Mr. Hughes. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on, God. I love it. I love that theme song, too, man. It's popping. We should play it again. Nice.
So, like that. And he's one of the first guests to not say that stuff wasn't true. So I believe all three of them were true.
I knew it. I knew he fought.
None of them were true, but it was implied.
So you guys like last week was great. Yes, it was. Randy did a good job filling in. Mr. Hughes' arch nemesis, Lady Alpha, checks in.
No. She don't like me. I like her. She don't like me.
She got a Roll Tide already.
It's all love.
It's all love. Y'all just Michigan and Ohio State. Man.
Yeah.
Whenever Auburn person comes on here, we try and treat them nice, but behind their backs, we talk bad about them. So
once we get out there, we're like, can't have that person on again. Yeah.
But you're a better man than us, though. So we're petty like that. So, man, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Fantastic. Long day, but guess what? Always thinking about football. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure.
We're in the South, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
But that's also all we have, too. So
that's the thing. Yeah.
So we had you on the season. We had you on earlier in the season to talk about Michigan. So looking back on the season, even with the ups and downs, people taking little shots at you, during the year, coming up on top, is there anything other than an A+ grade for where Michigan is right now? What's your assessment of where they sit?
If I was giving them a grade, it'd be an A-. And people who don't like Michigan are not going to care about the difference between the A+ and the A-, but it's an A- for me because I felt like there was a couple of games. Maryland was one of them. Penn State, I probably would say that's another one where it looks like we stopped doing things that we do well.
Right.
And we kind of got with the run game. We got two of the most outstanding running backs that I've seen in college in a while. And that's not biased. It just seemed to be statistical fact. But we should be throwing the ball a lot more in some of those events because they were, bracing for the run, and we threw the ball, but there was some areas where I thought that JJ was a little different. Then I found out about an injury that's been going on for a while. I didn't know about when we was on the show together the last time. So he's kind of been hanging with that. I don't even know if anybody even knows what it is. Anybody even put in print what it was, but he's been dealing with the injury clearly. So that plays a part in his managing some of those games that I saw. But I'm gonna say A-. We dominated who we were supposed to dominate on the schedule. We did adjust in the second half, and especially in the tight defensive battles. The defense is the MVP of the season, so I'm like, it's good. When you go undefeated, man, it's a bonus to have a number one ranking. When you go undefeated, you do what you're supposed to do. You're winning all your games. That's the whole point. So I can't be mad at him, but I demand perfection, and I didn't get that, so that's why I got an A-.
Raj, outside review, what do you think though?
For me, as far as their grade,
yeah,
I would say I'd give them around A-. Like I said, I know that you probably dived more into the Michigan family as a little more than I would, so he would be able to critique them a little deeper than I would. But based off seeing their scores, seeing the stats, seeing how they played this year, I mean, they won the big game, obviously, Michigan, Ohio State. They beat Penn State it was interesting, by running the ball the entire second half. But hey, they won their games. They got through the season. I think early on in the season in college football, a lot of people are judged based on how badly they beat other people in the style points. But once you get midway through the season and then obviously win your big game, your rivalry game, everything's fine. So I give them an A. And not to mention the fact that they had the scandal going on the entire season. So that was scrutiny on a weekly basis. And we heard about it, not even necessarily a weekly basis, almost on a daily basis. We heard something about Michigan and things being imposed and what's going to happen. Coach got suspended Harbaugh was suspended for 6 games, I believe.
Yeah, like 3 in the front, 3 in the back.
3 in the front, 3 in the back end, and they still won on all their games. Number 1 in the country right now, undefeated. And now we're looking forward to the big game.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call it the big game.
Well, is it not the big game? I mean, it's the bigger game now. The rivalry game's over. They won their conference, so now it's the Rose Bowl.
And real quick, you got to cut Raj. They showing you some love. Welcome back, Raj.
Oh, appreciate it, Big Mike.
I got a lot of messages saying I'm not allowed to do the show without you anymore. So a lot of people are just disappointed.
The show must go on. The show must go on. Yeah.
The Randy who jumped in last week says what's up.
Shout out to Randy.
And he's got a take on Alabama, so we'll definitely go and check him out. Randy always been a good supporter of the show. Like I said, came on last week. And I was hesitant to post this one, but the rivalry continues.
I saw it too.
I mean, I don't have to even do anything to get attacked. That's the cool part.
But it's not nice.
But that lets you know that you're doing something right
on the show, and
that lets you know that you're cheering for a good team, though. Because if your team wasn't performing well, then nobody would be saying anything about you.
True that. It's better be.
You want to follow me on Twitter, text me on your show. I mean, it's like a strict. It's like unprovoked attack continually. It's like it's unbelievable.
And Charmaine, no fact. Charmaine was actually interviewing, or that's what she was on there with Paul Feinbaum today. She got on as one of his callers, and
oh really?
Yeah, Paul was clearly he was clearly nervous to be talking to her though. So
okay, shout out to Charmaine. Yeah, congrats, that's awesome.
Yep. And then this last one we'll get back into some more. Reggie, happy birthday to Reg. I believe he turns probably like 30.
Happy birthday, Reg.
So, and I see some more comments in there. So,
this is gonna be an interesting show.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be.
It was a joke. He said LOL after it. And it was a joke. I said, that's common practice, right? Joke and then LOL. Lady, give me a break. Follow me on Twitter. Give me a break.
Yes.
Nothing but love. Oh, y'all are definitely already throwing me off. Okay. Oh, so as a side effect to what Michigan has been doing, did you guys kind of break Ohio State in the process here? Like it seems like and obviously because of the mass exodus, but it's in fairness to them, the teams that aren't in the playoffs always get hit the hardest with the transfer portal. It definitely seems like Ryan Day's on the hot seat. A lot of people are transferring, they're making moves. Like, is this the byproduct of Michigan?
He wants to take credit for it.
No, honestly, I'm not that kind of fan, man. I think you guys know that deep down. If you're on Twitter, you know that you hear it. I'm not doing what typical Michigan fans are doing. They're having fun at these guys' downfall and they posting memes. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm about the football. Went out there and we do what we have to do. As far as all of the residual stuff with Ryan Day, he kind of brought some of that on himself with the whole family investigator stuff. You kind of got the ball rolling with that, and on top of that, you lose to your rival 3 times.
Right.
That's not really our fault. We just capitalized on your misfortune, I guess you could say. But I mean, a whole bunch of stuff has happened with McCord. I don't know if I totally agree with what happened there. I heard a little bit about how he was he got thrust into the portal because he had a bad game. Like, I don't know if it was that bad that you put a whole blame for that loss on him only.
Right.
A lot of stuff happened, particularly on defense. Nobody else from the defense went to the portal. It was just him.
I didn't understand the
Ryan just trying to make
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I also heard, and this is something I'm not quite sure if I can validate, but Ryan, they said he wasn't sure McCoy would start.
Right.
And I'm like,
I read that too.
You put him in the game against your most hated division. You hate us more, you hate Nebraska. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
You put him against us and y'all lost, and you put all the blame on him and say he ain't going to start. Wow. That's a moxie on Dave's part. Stuff like that.
I didn't understand the McCord transfer
I mean,
at all.
She's not wrong about she's not wrong about the pocket pop, but I don't think he's awful. I don't think the numbers even back that up either. I don't think that's so. But okay, if you want to call him awful, that's fine. But he didn't deserve to get kicked out like he was trash, because a lot of bad things happened on that side of the ball. It wasn't just him. But, okay.
Called out Lou Holtz, and now it's coming to fruition, bro. But Raj, do you think it had an effect though? Like I said, the outsider's view. We're not really in the middle of it, but I mean, I know down here, long losing streaks to your rivals always, especially if one coach is involved. A lot of times you get a streak like that, and it's a couple coaches, so it's that's usually different anyway. But losing to your rival, and then basically, the way the conference was set up until this next year, win that game and you're in the playoffs. Although for last year you lose that game in the playoffs, but. Go ahead, Raj.
I mean, I don't know. Some of it might be effective of them losing to Michigan 3 years in a row. But like I've said about Ryan Day, I don't think he should lose his job. I don't think he should be on the hot seat, because he did take his team to a national championship. And almost, again, last year, they came 1 point away from going to a second national championship, which is something that Michigan has not done in quite some time. So that's why I kind of felt like Ryan Day, keep your job. He'll be all right. Hopefully, we'll see what happens at Ohio State next year. But as far as Kyle McCord, I didn't understand why he was transferring. I mean, they lost one game, obviously.
Well, there's a lot.
I always feel like what now?
Nobody has anything on McCord.
I don't know. I mean, he didn't have.
Was Ryan Day awful? Because I'm looking in the comments, I don't see where it says Ryan Day was awful. Was he awful? Because McCord is awful. I'm all over here, but Ryan Day wasn't awful though. No, he was good.
I don't know necessarily Ryan Day.
My biggest thing with Ohio State would be is you had coming into the season, a Heisman Trophy candidate wide receiver, and they thought they had one of the best trios in the country, and the offense didn't improve like the entire year.
They had a really slow start, and then they finally started to pick up, but I felt like it was just too late.
Yeah.
So
when you picked up, what still wasn't great. The Penn State game wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
So you really only had 2 games the whole year that we would actually look at. But the offense never improved, and you had talent. It's one thing if you look at a team and say there's nobody out there, he doesn't have anybody to throw to, it's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This was a talented team. So especially offensive wise. So
when you have those players on offense, that's a team that you should be averaging 35 to 40 points a game. To be honest with you, I know that might seem a lot to some other teams, maybe teams like Iowa, because they can barely score 7 to 10 points. But when you have Harrison Jr. and a quarterback like that, McCord had a decent season. You should be averaging a lot more. And you just didn't see the output. We just didn't see the output throughout the season.
Yeah. I don't know how we got a Michigan and Alabama game coming up, and now we're all over Ohio State. So this tells you where it goes.
I don't know. I don't really want that.
That's just where the wind is blowing right now. So.
And there was one more comment. Yeah. And this might hit you. Everything's had to say about Michigan is pretty spicy. So you always got to be careful when you read our SEC takes on any Big Ten teams. So
and it's not just Randy. It's a lot of it's like the SEC. It's part of our mentality as well.
Yeah, it's definitely part of our mentality.
It's not just Michigan, not just Ohio State, but the Big Ten Conference as a whole. We may perceive it a little differently than other people. So that's my personal opinion. Yeah,
doesn't bother me one bit. Keep it going.
McCord was asked. I believe that too. I think he was asked to leave.
And I think the word got out that. Yeah, I think the word got out that Ryan Day basically said, "Listen, we're going to be."
I like how Lady Alpha's taking no responsibility for anything that happens. It's be a
that's surprising to me.
Yeah. So
That's surprising.
back to the Michigan. So what your initial thoughts when you saw the draw and you saw Alabama? What's your initial thoughts on that game going into it?
My initial thoughts. Would you believe me if I said that it didn't matter?
No.
And that wasn't you don't believe that? Well,
No.
That's what happened. It really didn't. I didn't. I saw Alabama play this year. I saw some stuff. I'm just ready for them to play because they've been through so much this year, and I don't feel like they've proven enough for me as a fan. The 3 Big Tens, that's awesome. I like that. Beating Ohio State in the game, that's cool. I kind of feel like that would happen anyways, regardless who's back there as a signal caller. But I really wanted to see them win a natty because, like I said a lot earlier, I think on one of your shows and on a preseason show that we did together, was 20-25 guys are leaving the team. And the majority of them, I think more than 13 of them, more than half are starters. And they go to the NFL, more than likely they're going to be declaring. It might be one that might change his mind and stay at Michigan for a little longer, but we don't know that for sure. But about 20-25 guys leaving. I said, this got to be the year, man.
Yep.
Some guys push back the arm, and they can always do it next year. Okay. We got guys that are settled in. They know the system. They understand everything that's going on. They're not surprised by most anything that they face on the field. You take them guys off of the field, it's a different situation. With guys like, could you see Samaj Morgan leading the entire Wolverines team? He's brand new. So it's going to be a different learning curve. So I always said that, this is going to be the year that they need to win the natty. So for me, that's all I care about. It didn't matter if it was Bama, it didn't matter if it was Florida State, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm like, we got to beat whoever's in front of us and close this out and win a national championship. The fact that Georgia wasn't there made me feel a little bit better. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're not facing them in the national championship if we get that far. So I really didn't have much of a reaction and said, okay, this is going to be a good game. That was my reaction. I wasn't scared. I wasn't happy because it wasn't Florida State or vice versa. Now, other Michigan fans on my Twitter page, you're going to hear a whole bunch of different stuff. But for me, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's see if Alabama just had a last-minute play to win that game, or are they ready to go toe-to-toe and go for a championship? So I'm ready for it. I want to see it.
So you wouldn't feel a little more at ease knowing that you'd be playing Florida State as opposed to Bama?
Oh, yeah. But it's like,
right.
But then what would the questions be after that? You understand? I don't want that. I don't want people saying, oh, you know what?
No, I get that. I get that.
I don't want that. All the judges been talked about is that most of it's not even true. Then you're gonna add to it. You know what? These guys just cakewalk through the semis into national championship. I don't want that. Let's gut it out, man. Let's fight, baby. Let's do it.
I'm the opposite, man. Give me the easy skill. I don't care. Give me a game where, like, at halftime,
they're going to talk about
nap.
you, man.
I don't care.
They're going to talk about you, and you know that.
But it wouldn't be Michigan's fault. It wouldn't be their fault. No, I don't. If we were number one and they gave us Florida State with no quarterback, I'd have been like, yeah, baby.
Herb. We're friends, right?
Yes,
We're honest with each other. We're friends, right?
Yeah.
After that game, as happy as you was and relieved at how that went down, that last minute, I don't even know how the ball got caught.
Right.
When people were talking stuff, you wasn't happy with, and you came on the show. You're part of our show on Monday morning, so you were there. You didn't seem that happy about some of the comments about how it said Alabama lucked out and it's because of this that this happened and you guys won the game. You didn't seem very happy about it then.
We didn't talk about that game that much. That game, you've got two different weeks. We talked about it the week after when y'all were like, we're fortunate to make the playoffs. But like, do I care? I was excited. Watch our show the week after Auburn. Yeah,
are we talking about the Auburn game or the?
I think
Georgia
he's talking about Auburn, but he's taking my reaction from Georgia.
The Auburn game.
So,
okay.
No, I think it's two different shows we talking about.
The Auburn game. So. Yeah, the Auburn game. You wasn't that thrilled with some of the comments that were coming back after that.
What were the comments?
So you did care a little bit
about the but I mean I don't get where that has to do with playing a terrible opponent. Like if I was Michigan, I would definitely want to play Florida State, and I would take an easy trip to the finals any day. And I have see you had your team pretty much was dominating, I guess, outside of Maryland for the year. We had too many scares this year. Like I am good with one non-heart attack game. So if somebody gave me Florida State with no quarterback right now, I would take that in a heartbeat. And I would not be ashamed. Not be on Twitter going, I'm not on the committee. It ain't my fault.
So that's
exactly like we're doing right now with Florida State. So, yep. See, like this. I don't care if it's Liberty. If they put Liberty in at the 1 seed and gave us the 4, I'd go, oh, man, this is a travesty. Yes. And I would be that guy.
I do have a question for you. I know we talked about Ryan Day and him being on the hot seat. That was, several weeks ago. We all talked about that and gave our opinions on that. If Harbaugh is to lose, hypothetically speaking, if he's to lose, and obviously you mentioned the fact that a lot of players are probably going to declare for the NFL draft, and the team, I don't know if they're going to regress next year or not. If Harbaugh is to lose, what happens to Harbaugh then? Because he hasn't been able to kind of get over that playoff hump.
Now, to the caveat, isn't he getting an extension? Like, aren't they already?
Yeah, he got the extension.
Okay. So,
but how do we judge him? How do we judge him, though?
And to be fair to Mr. Yu, with his comments at the beginning of the year, this extension would not be signed if Mr. Yu was in charge unless they won the whole thing.
See?
You got that right.
Yeah.
You got
he was very clear about that. He was so anybody, like, he's not backtracking here. These are statements he made on our show in the Big Ten breakdown to start the year. So he mentioned championship or bust. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He get a 5-year nothing.
I guess that's the answer.
Yeah,
obviously,
he get a 5-year nothing until we have that lockdown first.
Yeah.
You finished the job. You haven't finished the job. You finished that job in a long time, if at all. You ain't getting 5 years of nothing until you finish that part. I wouldn't be even talking extension after the season's over, and we have a championship. If that's what's going to happen, then we're talking extension. You talking that now after you sat 6 weeks because some guys on your staff were showing out. You talking about an extension? It's bad timing. That's a whole separate topic altogether. It's really bad timing and bad optics too. If you want my real opinion,
I agree with that. It is weird to miss half a season and get an extension because they're almost saying the team's running without you. So you've got good stuff in place. So I don't know. It was just very, very strange. So
I feel like that was Michigan's way of saying we got your back, Coach Harbaugh, but they could have went about it in a different manner. So
yeah, I agree with him.
These guys are really afraid, unless they're really afraid he's going to go to the NFL.
Right.
That's the only other option that makes sense in my head.
But let me ask you this then: with that being said, the way the team ran without him, would you still be scared of that? Didn't it almost prove that if you do go to the NFL, we'll be okay? Or are they thinking it's also going to hurt in recruiting?
I don't think Sherrone Moore is the same as Harbaugh. I just have to just say that.
Right.
I saw some stuff during some of those games. I'm like, okay. I know what Harbaugh would have done in that case, and especially going for it on 4th down, something. I saw some stuff. But no, I don't know if I'd be afraid, but no, that's not the same thing. I think he's a great coach, and he's a great fit for that. All the NFL stuff has always been rumors. It's been rumors for quite a long time now. I don't even know if there's anything different about that, except that the Raiders are being named as a potential team. Other than that, it's still just rumors like it always has been. So I don't know.
Randy and food to the fire. Nobody in Social Michigan want to see Georgia or Alabama at 4.
Everybody got the right to their own opinion, man.
Yeah, Mike is with me. I don't care. Trophy looks good. I don't care who you beat. So stand out. Yep, he did. And this is your Michigan buddy over here. So Feinbaum's been on Bama.
Feinbaum's never gonna shut up.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I didn't come here expecting to get love from anybody in the comment section. So it's like, okay, I'm ready for this. It's like, okay, I'm just drink my water, answer questions, and just do me. I ain't gonna, okay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're Bama fans. We're used to taking all the shots. So
that's what I was about to say. We get this all the time. So the minute we don't win a championship, I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, the dynasty's over." Blah 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 blah. So we're used to it.
Half of the committee stuff was people were mad that Florida State got the shaft. The other half was just mad that Bama got in. Even our own conference.
I think it was more people mad that Bama got in. That's what I think it was.
And there's a Vikings to your point too with the so
that's a whole different topic though, man. I mean, because a lot of other folks could have got in instead of Bama. Well, not a lot, but at least a couple. Georgia lost one game too, and they lost it to you guys. I mean,
they had
a stellar season.
Yeah, when Randy was on here last year, I said Georgia's only bad thing they did was lose the last game of the year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like they had an excellent season. You can't tell me they went from your number 1 to number 6. None of that made sense.
Yeah.
So the committee just needs to admit they did a terrible job. Yeah, I agree. And as much as everybody wants to get on the Florida State part of it, Georgia got screwed just as much. So you can't tell me you lose one game by 3 and you go from the number 1 to number 6 like that. I'm just never going to believe that. So, but yes, Cat is right.
I'll be watching that bowl.
They hate us. Yeah,
it's going to be another level.
Yeah. Cat, the Michigan and Washington guys took shots at me the day after the selection committee too. So. How did it feel, at least, being one of the few people that actually got to sleep that night before and know where you were going?
Yeah.
Oh wait, let's backtrack to the Michigan Washington guys. When did that happen?
On your show that morning after the selection show.
Oh no!
Yes.
I was hoping he was going to say that. I didn't attack you, man.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I told you, like I told Bo, I was glad you guys got in because now we're on the same show and our teams are in and we playing for something relevant. I told you I was good with that. You no attack. Now, Bo, on the other hand, he's not here to defend himself, but he can watch this. He can try to defend himself on Twitter. It's not going to work, but you can try. He attacked you.
Okay.
If I recall,
so
he's the one that made a comment about me.
So how do you feel? How did it feel, at least, being one of the few people that actually got to sleep the night before and just rest, knowing where your position was going to be?
Yeah,
I didn't really sleep good the night before for other reasons, but yeah, I was glad we had at least knew what was going to happen and our destiny was kind of sealed. That was good, man. You upset about that?
Am I upset? No, I mean I didn't sleep well for different reasons. We were very stressed. We had no idea if we were going to get in.
We actually had
asking you a question, Missy. Yeah, we didn't know.
You came in that fall, man.
No, we had a tough game to play.
You think you could be at number 4?
We had a tough game to play the night before, and then after the winning, we still didn't. There was no guarantee we would be in the top 4. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
we were rooting for Louisville that night.
We went to bed saying, and then I watched the ACC championship.
No, y'all beat the juggernaut.
Yeah, but there was no guarantee. There was no guarantee.
There was still no guarantee.
Team that couldn't be beat.
There was still no guarantee.
Y'all beat them.
There was still no guarantee.
Should be sleeping like babies that night.
This is it. No, definitely not. This one is interesting because she was one of the people that mad that we got in. So I have yes, she was very upset that we got in. So it's interesting. I think that was fine, but
comment I agree with.
Huh?
Her next comment I actually agree about Texas. I actually agree with that.
Yeah. Texas, what I tell everybody, Texas beat Alabama early in the year and they rode that win all the way. They didn't look good since that game. They didn't look good in the season. I'm not impressed by beating Oklahoma State because I just don't know how they even made the finals. But they rode that Alabama win. And what the committee did was make a very clear decision. Texas and Alabama was tethered to each other. So that was it. So they were never going to have Alabama above Texas. And then they set that precedent. So when Alabama beat Georgia, now they're like, oh, crap, now we can't put – you know what I mean? We've got like a 3-tier here and we can't do anything about it. So that's what they screwed up with.
Yeah. So totally agree with Lady Alpha. See that?
Which one? I don't know which comment you're happy with her. So I've got, like I said, we've got the comments. All right, before we start moving. Right. Huh? Oh, the Texas part of it? Yeah. All right, so keys to the game, Mr. U. Keys to a Michigan victory in this game.
There's quite a few things. I don't know. Do I have to name just one key?
Read them out. Just
break it down. You got the floor is yours.
We got time.
There's quite a few things going on there.
Just looked at my watch. I got time today.
Oh God.
Awesome. For Alabama, I would say make JJ run. He ran 57 times for 146 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's not. I think part of the injury that he's dealing with, which the undisclosed injury, got something to do with his lower body, apparently. I think so, anyways. So that's probably why he's not running as much as he would normally run, like he did last year. For Michigan, make Milroe throw. I don't mean that offensively, just that he's been game breaking on the ground. carries the ball like 12 and a half or 12 times a game most of the times. It's incumbent on us to beat him in the air, not on the ground. We don't want that to happen because he's ran for 468 yards and 12 touchdowns. So we don't want that to happen. This is a mismatch that I like with our tight end Colton Loveland. I like that because he's a size mismatch the majority of the time. I think we showed that again. Well, it's kind of like what happened with Texas and you guys. What's his name? Jatavion Sanders. He had a big game against y'all, 5 receptions for like 114 yards. And that's an opportunity there, I think. Edge rushing, Bama allowed 43 sacks, which is the 8th most. Jay Harrell had like 6.5, so he's definitely a beast there. 0.4 got speed and power, so we got to be prepared for that part. But I think the O-line, all the O-line's going to get tested because you guys had, I think, Turner and Braswell. They had 17 sacks between them this season. And we got guys that have, Zach Zinner is out. He's not coming back in. He's out for the rest of the season. Drake Nugent went out for a little while. My heart started beating for the entire time he wasn't in there. Came back a couple plays later, went to the bathroom to go and cry, and came back in, and then he was back on the field. I'm like, okay, so he's back in. So, but he's been dealing with some injuries too. So there's some stuff on the O-line that I'm kind of concerned about. But they had a whole month to kind of heal up and get. Well, they have a whole month to get healed up and get back right. But I think the O-line is going to be a big part of it, and the pass rush, and of course, how that affects Miro, and if he's forced to throw more out of the pocket, which I think is to our advantage that it happens. If he's running and he's loose and he's picking up first downs at a high clip, it's not going to be a good thing for us. So these long pauses like really disconcerting.
No, that was a good breakdown. That was a good breakdown. I think you spoke to some of the things that I wanted to
delete it. My block.
Not yet. I think you kind of spoke to some of the things that I wanted to mention too. I mean, as far as my keys to victory, just for Bama, I'm gonna speak on Bama. I think if we get off to a fast start, it's the same thing that I mentioned prior to the SEC championship game. I think if we get off to a fast start, hopefully score in the opening drive, I think that'll definitely help us out, kind of give us a foot above the competition. And I know you spoke.
By the way, let me interrupt. That was our keys to the Georgia game, and that's absolutely what did not happen.
I know.
After Georgia walked down the field on the first drive, and we'd already.
I know, and Herb and I were standing right next to each other when that drive happened, and we looked at each other. We were like, "Oh Lord, this is gonna be this type of day."
I ain't gonna lie. I went and took another shot. It's gonna be a long game.
They walked right down the field, scored a touchdown. I was like,
did we even have a stop on that drive? That was just, it was bad. I don't know what happened the rest of the game. That was bad. So go ahead, Rod. I think it's funny because that was the keys to the Georgia game, and that's absolutely the opposite.
That didn't happen, but somehow magically we won that game.
Yeah, this is awful.
And Milroe, I think in this game, I do want to see Milroe pass a little more, but he is going to be able to use his legs and be dynamic on the ground. I think if we can get the passing game going, obviously he's a deep ball threat, and I'm sure Michigan is aware of that. They've been aware of that all season. So if we can get a couple of deep balls in there here and there, I'm okay with that. But I would like to see him kind of stretch the field out and get some maybe 15, 20-yard passes. Use Isaiah Bond even more than we already have. I would love to see that happen. And opening up that passing game will definitely open up the running game, not just for our running backs, especially Jam Miller, who I'm highly fond of, but Milroe running himself. So I would like to see that happening. And last but not least, get as much pressure as we can on J.J. McCarthy. I know Michigan's got a good O-line. But I would love to see Braswell, Turner, some of the other guys get in there and just rough them up a little bit. That's my points. Herb?
I agree with both y'all. It's funny when you're like, hey, I don't mean any offense by making Milroe into a thrower. No, he's a better runner than thrower at this point.
Yeah, we know that.
And his problem sometimes is sticking in the pocket too much when he needs to be decisive. It's like he picks and chooses his games. I mean, he's absolutely the key to the offensive attack. So, they can control him. I would like to see LSU game Milroe, but I still don't think we're going to see LSU.
I was just thinking about that too.
That's the problem. So he didn't play his best against Georgia, but it's just it's concerning just because that's one of the best defensive we played.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mitchie, what's your official prediction for the game?
The biggest setup I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm picking Michigan, man. One thing I can't do is give you any numbers. I'm picking Michigan.
No, we need a score prediction.
I don't think it's not going to be blowout. Huh?
We need a score prediction.
A score prediction.
Yes.
That wasn't. in the pre-production meeting. Okay.
Can you just give us a score prediction? You just gave us all these stats about everything, but you can't.
all right. Okay. Hey, my God, I'm already in enemy territory. You gonna jump on me too?
Oh,
I'm going 31-24 Michigan.
What's the score?
31-24 Michigan.
31-24. Okay.
31-24.
All right, Raj.
I'm going 30-14 Bama.
I like that. I'm gonna go 31-14 Bama.
Okay, so I'm gonna go 31.5-14 Bama.
Well, then I'm gonna go 31.
All right.
Oh, he said it's not gonna be a blowout. Hilarious. Now, you are in enemy territory, but you definitely came out with the fist ready to fly.
I don't even know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just being honest.
I don't know if it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be. I think Bama's gonna be up by 7 or 10 at half, and then Bama pulls away in the second half. So if it ends up a blowout, I don't know, but like I said, 30-14 is what I'm rolling with, and I think it's gonna be somewhere near that score.
Yeah. All right. Initial thoughts on the other game, Washington, Texas. So, despite Bo taking a shot for sure, I'm still rooting for Washington at least. I know most Bama fans, they want to beat Michigan and then have revenge against Texas.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Washington. I like Penix. Man, it would probably be fitting for the Pac-12 champ to make the playoff final in the last year of the Pac-12.
The last Final Four.
Yeah. So what initial thoughts though on that game from you guys?
Yeah. Initial thoughts is both teams put up a lot of points. We get that. So it's probably going to be a higher scoring game.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the key in this one is being able to pressure Penix. I think what Texas does, one of the few things they do well, is bring that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
If that happens, Washington's not winning this game.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now. If that happens, he doesn't have his usual time to throw. I seen it in the Arizona State game too, as an example. When he's rushed, it looks ugly. I think if Texas is going to key in on that, it's going to be that big game plan. If that happens, they're going to definitely lose. Washington has to hold Texas under 23 points, and they've done that, but not against talent like this. They've done it 6 times, but not against this kind of talent. So I don't feel super confident. If Bo was here, I still would say that it's not a shot at just reality. I don't think they're going to win this game if that happens. But I don't expect Ewers to do what he did against Oklahoma State either, but I think they still win.
I think the key to the game is just getting stops. Whoever can get the more stops, especially early on, is going to win the game. And with that being said, I'm kind of rolling with Texas in this one. I would love to see Washington win. I'm okay with that. No offense to Bo or anybody like that. But I do think Texas is going to have the edge on defense, and they're going to get those stops early on. And as far as a score prediction, I do think they're going to put up some points. So I'm going to go with 35. Yeah, I like that. 35-30 Texas.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go with definitely – I'm going to go 38-35 Washington.
Are you saying that just simply because of Bo, or is that who you're picking?
Oh no, Bo took a shot at Alabama, so I'm not rooting for Bo, but I like Washington. If I had to watch a team win, I'd rather watch Washington win than watch Texas win any day. I'm tired of Texas's back comments and stuff like that. So and like I said, I like Penix. The game against Oregon. Yep. I didn't hear what you said.
Again, making comments about who? Who's
what
Texas making comments about?
No, I said I don't like
comments.
I said I don't like the Texas is back comments. Like I don't like when people, is Texas back? They're back on top. Like I don't like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
I've never been a Texas fan. So even though Oklahoma guys picked in Texas, so that's not a good sign. So and Randy is an SEC guy through and through, so that's why you're getting those comments. So
it's kind of in our blood. So
I don't have. Yeah, I'm just wondering if by some miracle, because according to the comments, this is definitely not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen. But if by some miracle we win this game, is anybody? Never mind.
No, continue.
Ain't nobody gonna own that.
I'm sure, but on your own show or in the Michigan country, like it'd be the opposite. If we were on your show,
Yes,
I'm sure everybody would hate
Michigan.
us.
The Michigan fans will be pouring in saying how bad Alabama is, etc. So, yeah.
And Rex check it in too. So,
shout out to Rex. What's going on, man?
Well, I don't know. Seemed like people are taking this talk a little too personal, so we'll move on to the NFL instead, though. So you guys had very differing.
Do we have to talk about
do you not want to talk? I mean, Raj.
No.
What?
I'm not trying to be rude to Mr.
Let me give you the positive. Let me give you a positive. Let me give you a positive.
All right.
Tyreek Hill's campaign for MVP got way better last night.
Wow, we lost. Wow.
I know, but without him, y'all look so bad. So.
I know. We look horrible. We look completely dead without him on the field.
Discombobulated,
flabbergasted, confused, all the big words you can put in the dictionary that are negative. That's what we look when Tyreek Hill got hurt. I think he got hurt in the first quarter, had the ankle injury. Took him a while to get off the field, but then after he finally gets off the field, he's got that power in him. He's yelling and screaming. I'm like, okay, he's okay. He came back in and made some big plays in the third quarter. Wasn't able to finish the game. But to your point, without Tyreek Hill on the field, we just looked dead as an offense. I still feel like we have some weapons on offense to use, but obviously Tyreek's speed is just unmatched. Regardless of how small he is, his speed is it's ridiculous. You can give him the ball on the screen, he still get you 10 to 20 yards off the screen. I guess what I'm most disappointed about was the fact that we could have held on to first place in the AFC. Dropping that game, we're now in second, right behind Baltimore. We host the Jets next week. We should win that game unless something crazy happens. I'm assuming Tyreek's day-to-day, so he'll be back.
Right.
The problem
he came back in that game, right? He came back in the game,
yeah. He just didn't finish. And the problem, which we've already shared in the group text, is that the last 3 games the Dolphins play are against the Cowboys, the Bills, and the Ravens. Not in that order. I think it's Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. And honestly, I hate to admit that, but I can honestly see Miami dropping all 3 games if we play like we did especially if we play like we did last night. So, will we still make the playoffs? Yes, but we really needed that number 1 seed. I think a first-round bye would have done us some justice. I don't know how that's going to turn out now. So, disappointed, PO'd. I was really confused that we lost the ball. We lost the game. 3 minutes left. We're up by 2 touchdowns. Bad clock management. Can't get a first down.
This is the one, like, they gave what were they? Was like 700 and it was 0 and 767 or something like that.
It was 767 games straight when a team was down by like
14 with 3 minutes.
3 minutes left. The other team always loses, but this was that one game that we just literally dropped the ball, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So it is what it. That's it. That's it for me. Now we can talk about. DeVito. DeVito looking sharp last night.
Did you even catch any of his game, or were you glued?
Say it again, Herb.
We can talk about the Dolphins and the Titans. I'm ready for that.
That's what I said. Did you even catch any of it with your team playing last night, or were you able to flip over? Or did you catch any of it?
I had to do one of those picture in the picture, kind of those peeks in and out, WhatsApp and whatnot, kind of just catching a little video. That's really all I can do because we were playing football that was good, and they reminded me of some of the old days, the defensive battles and the defense, making big plays and whatnot, and kind of dominating on that side of the ball. And then some of the other things, I was like, wow, guys running into each other, and it's like what is the Three Stooges? What's going on out here? So it was hard to take my eyes off. I didn't know what was going to happen, but
there's some hope for you.
I saw a little bit of it. I saw I saw a little bit of it. It was Tyreek when I knew what was going to happen because it kind of reminded me of Debo with the Niners. He goes out, like everything just changes.
And he made that comment in our group that I thought that was a great comment. Yeah.
When Debo goes out, everything changes. It's like all of a sudden I used the number 1, and you don't really want that. The whole game plan just seemed to change, and the field is almost cut in half almost when Debo's not there. So when Tyreek went out, it's like, I know what's gonna happen. What I'm shocked about is Tua. He threw I think he threw 33 times, 240 yards, no touchdown, no picks either. But it's like he looked like he didn't know what to do. I'm like, all your game plans can't revolve around Tyreek every play, right?
Right.
I
was surprised Waddle didn't step up. I thought we'd see more Waddle.
Yeah, that's what because Waddle's got the speed too, but they don't use Waddle like they use Tyreek. Tyreek is like their Brock Bowers. He's like the safety net. We use him to go to a lot, and we got a good running game. I mean, Mostert leads the league.
Randy.
Oh,
and I saw Randy's comment earlier about being biased. I know we're just in the SEC. We're always a little biased. That's all I'm saying. I was putting myself in the same category. And
we got two good backs in Mostert and A-Chain. And keep in mind, Mostert leads the league in rushing touchdowns, but it just seems like those last
94 and 2 touchdowns last night.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't bad. It's just.
But it just seems like in those last 3 minutes, we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't get a first down. Couldn't kill the clock. And we only had like one timeout left. So
the last drive, y'all didn't even attempt anything. You ran it 3 times. You were basically playing so we could punt and see what happens. So.
Basically. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but whatever.
So.
It is what it is.
I like Mostert.
And of course,
a healthy Mostert. I like
it. Who cares if we lost by 50 by more in the division? That is crazy as well. Yeah, Denver fan.
He's a Denver fan.
Yep. So from the agony of defeat to the thrill of victory, so we can end the NFL on a positive note instead.
DeVito,
happy, right? What are they? There's 2 teams in the league with 5-game winning.
Hey, DeVito, hey, I want a turkey and Swiss. Hey,
this guy over here.
Hey,
this guy over here.
Look at this guy. Come on.
So I texted this last night. You said you weren't getting involved in this, but I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Do you have a quarterback controversy in New York?
Oh, DeVito or DJ?
Listen to some of my peers out there. Yeah, if you listen to them, absolutely. He did something that I don't think we've seen DJ do this season so far. But put them next to each other and say which one's a better quarterback. I can't do all that, man. I'd rather have both of them go than try to say that DeVito is better than Daniel Jones. I'm not going to do that. I don't want Daniel Jones there. I've been on the record about that. I'm ready for him to leave.
Right.
I'm ready for that contract to kick in.
Yeah,
please do.
I don't think you ever wanted DJ though. I don't feel like you've ever felt really confident in him.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me ask you a quick question. Sorry to interrupt. So I don't know what pick the Giants have in the draft, but hypothetically speaking, if the Giants had the number 1 pick in this draft, and based on what you're saying, which quarterback would you take?
I know he's not a Caleb Williams fan.
That's why I'm curious. I don't know.
Herb is not skipping anybody's messages.
I was with May for about the first 6 or 7 games.
Right.
I'm like, ooh, because he reminded me of somebody, but in this case, that might not be a good thing. So, I think we need a departure from that kind of quarterback. The way the system runs, I know Dayball is kind of a Josh Allen guy, so you want a guy that's like that, I guess. But my pick would probably have been Penix. Initially.
Right. I like him.
Initially. Yep. I really like Jaden Daniels. It's hard for me to ignore what he's done.
Yeah.
Especially in tough spots. So I kind of feel like it's kind of like a tie between the two of them. If I get either one of those guys, I'm like, yeah, they can fit in this system. I think I'm leaning toward Daniels more than Penix, though.
Okay.
He's going to be at 5. I'll be surprised if he's sitting there at 5 or 6, where we might end up being. But the way we're going right now, we're trying to win games, apparently.
Yeah.
So we're not. Yeah. I thought so. 5 and 6 might not even be a reality for us. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But I like Daniels by a nose over Penix.
Oh, by the way, the New Orleans Saints fan chimes in that you at least have a good problem to have with arguing over your two. So
wasn't Derek Carr supposed to have like a really good year this year? Was I wrong about that, or what's the trade?
I think a combination of good defense and terrible division, and they thought they'd get a lot more out of Carr. It's been terrible.
I don't even know what's wrong. We talk about it almost every week on the show. I don't even know how to explain it. When he gets hit, he has like 3 or 4 injuries all at one time. Incredible.
Yeah.
And impossible. He has
it's the worst superpower
every time he.
Yeah, the worst superpower to have is to get hurt that much.
Yep.
I don't know if it's an O-line thing. I mean, what we got going on here? Because he had that problem in Las Vegas too, but he was still throwing for almost 4,000 yards out there. So I'm like, what? And their team was not good.
Yeah.
You say you pure basura.
He would be that bad.
I know what that means. Yeah, I'm shocked by that too. I don't know. This is a really bad science experiment in New Orleans.
This is an interesting take. I don't know if we all have the same take on this. I don't know that that's something that we're worried about. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not there.
He said
He's no Jimmy G.
Yep. Just kidding. And then he's trapped. I don't know. Like you said, I just expected better. I know I picked the Saints to win that division to start the year. I thought Carr would be better, and I don't know. But that division is also a division where nobody wants to win anyway. So maybe it's par for the course. And so it's like you either tried out Carr, who's terrible, or you tried out Jameis, who's going to throw interceptions. So it's.
But you thought Michael Thomas would be healthy, and you thought that Alvin Kamara would be back to his old self, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I thought he'd do good over there too, because of those guys. I did not even because of Olave, just because of the other two guys. But that's not what's happening.
Rex, I only oversmoked once, and it wasn't when I made the pick. So, but you look at the division. We
didn't hear that. We didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, mom's probably not listening.
Mom always listens.
I mean, she it's not near her bedtime either, though. So, I think Kamara. I mean, he's probably gonna leave. Thomas gonna leave. I mean, at some point, you're gonna end up tearing it down. And running backs, man, you have to get whatever value you can get when you can, right? So. Why hold on to him and not make use of him?
You see him as a quarterback in a rebuild?
No, I'm talking about. They were talking about Alvin Kamara. No, I wasn't talking about.
Carr. Okay.
Yeah, Carr, I think, is on his last legs. And I think if they bought him out, they just pick another high quarterback. That's it. So, and Caps, the only message I saw you start off with was asking us to be on the show, and I feel like that's one of those things off the air.
Yeah, I've been noticing it too, but I didn't know how to handle that. Yeah.
So Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Bears. I mean, they've got 2 high draft picks, and he has been mocked to them in a lot of picks. So, Mr. I know earlier in the year though, you were a little skeptical of that decision. If you think the Bears would take him, right? Are you still holding that, or what do you think?
I still feel the same way because you don't even know who the quarterback's going to be.
Yeah,
we can't even figure out if they like Fields or not. We don't even know yet. So a match made in heaven. If who's that quarterback? If Fields is there, okay, perhaps. I mean, you got to have an O-line to protect them so you can throw the ball to Harrison theoretically, right? It's not really happening that frequently right now. So I don't get the match made in heaven part. No respect to David. I don't quite understand that part because the quarterback situation is kind of dicey right now. The Bears they're not committing. There's no diamond ring on that finger right now.
Yeah.
They kind of just let him dangle, and they're acting like they're going to get a quarterback, but they like Fields too. So it's like, I don't get what's going to happen there. And where's their pick? They got a 1, and what's the other pick in the first?
Isn't it like the 4th pick, I believe?
Well, depends. I mean, because the one is Carolina, so it's and they're the worst, so that's why that is. The problem is they just won another game, so they've moved up. So aren't they they're still in top 10, but not at the bottom? So what you have to see happen is either they take Harrison at 1 because they're afraid of losing him before you get him onto their 4th pick, or they take the quarterback they want, who they must really want really bad, I guess, theoretically, and then hope that Harrison's going to be there at 4. Both of those gambles suck.
Yeah, I feel like if they take another quarterback, they're still going to have the same O-line problems anyway. So that new quarterback is going to probably experience what Fields has been experiencing anyway. So
you realize that last year they spent almost $90 million, and most of it was on O-line, and you can't even see where the money was.
And you're still not making
right.
It's like Bitcoin. You don't know where the money is.
All right, Caps. And Caps, we'll message you off of here to let you know. So what we're saying. And I think this is a point I feel like this is a point that you and Bo have been making about the Bears almost like each time they kind of come up with the thing. We just don't know what we're doing, what they're doing up there. So, and just a quick glance, I think there's 3 teams worse than them, but they're in a glut of 5 and 8 teams. There's like 4 or 5, including the Giants at that range.
Absolutely.
So, so I don't know.
It's a weird organizational plan that's going on. I don't know. Match made in heaven. If I was Harrison, I'd be like, "Ooh, is that where I want to play?"
Yeah.
What's my other options?
What is it? Come back to school and get the NIL money?
That's the rumor. We actually talked about that yesterday morning. That's the rumor.
Who's throwing in the ball?
25 million.
Yeah.
He's not getting that in the NFL his rookie season. So
no,
yeah, that would be tough.
Whoever's at 2 and 3 picks him. Whoever's at number 2 and 3. I'm forgetting the draft order, guys. I'm not really locked into that just yet. But whoever's at 2 and 3, that's the other option.
Right. Well, you got Carolina, so that pick's going to, like I said, to Chicago. And then Arizona only has 3 wins. And there was another. Washington has 4 wins. So those are, and then New England. So those are the teams. Like Chicago would be no best than 5th right now, wherever that shakes out. So, but you got to think at least Arizona's not taking a quarterback. New England's probably going to trade back, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chicago.
New England that too. Yeah, New England's that too. You know they're getting Drake mates. Don't mess around. You know that's what's going to happen. You got Arizona, you got Washington and Chicago at 5, and then Vegas at 6.
So the Mac Jones experiment is
over. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, you feel like it is, man. I mean,
yeah.
They didn't do it right in the beginning. He did them dirty, in my opinion. But it's been bad since then. I only could cite one game I was like really excited for him. That was the Eagles game. That man put up like 502 yards. He was balling out there. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I remember that because we talked about the week after. We were like, what is going on? And then
I can't stop talking about it. It was incredible. It was almost some of legend. It's like you never seen it again. It was like that sharpshooter that came into town, shot all the bad guys up and left. You never seen him again. That's Mac Jones.
He took the money and ran.
I don't know what. Oh, wow. Well,
I missed the question in the middle of this. Where do you think Derrick Henry ends up next year? I bet you the Eagles or the Dolphins.
We're not. I think the Dolphins. We're good in the RB position, but I was being serious when I said, what if the Cowboys actually somehow picked him up and gave him like a thunder and lightning type of thing with him and Tony Pollard?
Yeah, I imagine the money won't be terrible.
Do I know?
You mean just fit?
Where do you think he ends up? Period.
Best. Yeah. Where do you think he's gonna end up? Yeah.
I don't know about their money and everything, but I like the Seahawks and the Rams for him. I think
it just depends on if he wants to take less to go to somewhere where he has a shot at the championship or not. Because I don't feel like either one of those two. So fit wise, but what does he want?
The championship?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like I don't that doesn't say that you're wrong. I have no idea. It just depends on what at this stage of his career he's going.
Yeah, because this is his like 8th season, isn't it? So I mean, I'm not sure how much
we heard
he's
Philly
got
earlier.
Yeah.
We heard Philly, which I hated them. Like, oh no! I was going to start burning some candles.
Yeah.
I want a guy.
I agree with you, Rex. Yeah.
Please. Yeah,
I don't know. I guarantee. Yeah, he'll take a backup role. Mac Jones will be somewhere next year. And he'll take it back. And by the way, I mean, with at the rate the backup quarterbacks are starting right now, like he has a great shot at getting back up there. So, I don't know if I'm ready to go this far.
Oh gosh.
Everybody's all American. Raj, ain't that your boy?
Randy, I want Brock Bowers to come to my Dolphins, but Dolphins have like the 24th pick in the draft. Brock Bowers will be gone way before then, so it will not happen. And we have other issues we need to assess as opposed to tight end. So, who would be? I've been
holding the question for you, Raj.
Yeah, I've been holding the question that one last night. That was a great catch by Henry last night. I had to watch that 3 times to make sure that it was Henry. I was like, is that really?
I don't think he knew the ball was coming. You. What's the question?
I want to ask you about Mike Gesicki.
Okay.
The MVP.
You happy with that move?
What, the fact that he's on the? Where's he on the Patriots now? Yeah, I was okay with that. I was okay with it. I liked him when he was in I liked him when he was with Miami, but I felt like with the receivers that we had, I knew he wasn't going to get the ball as much as I wanted him to get the ball. So when they traded him, I mean, I was okay with it.
It was interesting, like when he left, they weren't happy with him as a blocker, and that's one reason why he didn't get on the field as much.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly,
he was a good.
I thought as a good receiving tight end.
I thought he was pretty decent.
He'll get good production, but he won't get that much playing with Miami because obviously our number one option is Tyreek, and then Waddle, and then it's going to get scattered out there. And then with the run game the way we have right now, it's like he's barely going to get the ball. So when he left, I wasn't hurting. I wasn't hurting about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't remind you of Brock Bowers at all. No comparison.
Gesicki? No. Brock Bowers is a different type of beast.
More dynamic. Yeah.
Brock is faster.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
I feel like he is. But this isn't a slight dig at Gesicki, and this not even being a Miami fan. I thought he was a good receiving tight end. The stuff about blocking is just stuff I read about why they weren't, willing to go with it or pony up money when the money has to go somewhere else. Because I felt like a good receiving tight end, fit in well with what they got going on.
Especially when you have Tua back there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why. Okay. So, all right, we ready for some questions of death as we enter the top of the hour?
Yeah.
Now he's sweating. I
was sweating before you record. All right, I'm ready for questions of death. First off, one question before the questions of death. Okay. How am I doing on the questions of death? It's like a ranking. Am I like doing good?
If you get answers out, you're doing good. Yeah. So, right. And I believe, did you pick Herb or Raj last time? That's the only thing we keep score on. Did you pick Herb or Raj last time?
I think he picked you.
2 points for that one then. Negative one if you pick Raj.
Yeah.
I recall my answer, but I don't want to relive that, okay?
Yeah, he picked Herb. I know why, but we don't have to get into that.
I did not, sir. You picked Bo over me, but whatever. Don't go there, man.
Yeah, did I pick Bo?
Yeah.
I don't recall that, sir.
Well, you too.
All right, who's going first, Herb? You going first?
I'll go first, yes. All right. So, you got to choose one of these. For the next 5 years, the Giants will be guaranteed to make the playoffs every year, next 5 years, and one Super Bowl appearance, but Michigan will not make the playoffs for the next 5 years. Or Michigan will be guaranteed to make the playoffs for the next 5 years, and at least one of those, they'll be in the college football championship. But then the Giants will be a bottom 5 team for the next 5 years.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, the first one, man.
Yeah.
You go with the Giants?
Absolutely.
So you would go with the Giants and forsake Michigan.
Everybody has an order of teams they love more than the other ones. We can't say, "Oh, I love your all babies equally." That's a lie. If you love more than the other team, you love the Roll Tide more than the Titans or the Dolphins. Yes, you do, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Giants are always going to be number one.
It's funny.
Raj, you like Roll Tide more than the Dolphins?
I do. I've liked the Dolphins. I've been with the Dolphins since 1988, but since we have not won a Super Bowl in so long, my passion for them has kind of decreased a little bit, and my expectations for them are at a certain level. My expectations for the Tide are top notch every year. So I love them more, and we've won national championships. Miami.
So basically, between your two kids, you like the kid that accomplished.
Oh, come on, come on.
Wow.
Anyway, Raj, this is for Mr. U. So give your question up next. Your question up next.
So I can go.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna give you a scenario. Let me. I want to hear your answer.
I wonder if this is why Mom loves you more than me.
What? All right. So let's just say. Someone comes to you and says, "I'm going to give you 2 tickets to the Rose Bowl game, Michigan versus Alabama." However, to get these tickets, you have to spend the next 20 days, every single day leading up to the Rose Bowl, posting daily, several times a day, about how good Alabama is. And at the actual game, you have to wear Bama paraphernalia, hat, shirt, hoodie, whatever the case may be. And you have to act like a rowdy Alabama fan saying Roll Tide, etc. Hold on. And after the game, you get an extra $100,000 and you get an extra 100,000 followers to whatever social media you want. Would you agree with this? And keep in mind, after the deal's over, you can go back to being a Michigan fan. So January 2nd, you can go back to your old ways.
I feel like the die would already be cast by then. It's like I can't get the maroon off of me by then.
You go
crimson. It's crimson.
Crimson.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
You just gonna move to Tuscaloosa.
I went to Crayola University. Is it okay?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say no to that. I'll stay home and watch the
wow.
I'm not doing all that stuff. I don't even know how to even say Roll Tide the way you guys say it.
You got close. You know, when we get off the show tonight, you practice. You practice, and when we revisit this situation.
Just play Stephen A. Smith saying it over and over again, and that's as close as it's going to be.
All right, so he's declining the offer, and keep in mind these 100,000 followers is definitely going to do something for your social media. So I'm just saying,
it's clearly overrated.
Rod, it's a deal with the devil.
Yeah. But hey, he declined. So Herb, you're up next.
All right. Yeah. So they decide to move the Giants for whatever reason, and they're going to remake the division, or maybe they move everybody else out, and the Giants are the only one left in the NFC East. What other 3 teams would you pick to be in the NFC East with you, regardless of where they're positioned in the country? We don't care about that. But you get to remake the NFC East, all new rivalries, whatever teams you have to play twice a year. What 3 teams are you picking? They could be AFC, NFC, whatever. You are the commissioner.
What's so tough? Okay, I'll keep the Commanders inside there just for our self-esteem.
No, you got to pick anybody who's not in the division. It's 3 totally new teams.
Oh, it has been totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep the Jets inside there for our self-esteem. Yeah. That might be not good for conference matchup to have 2 New York teams in the same place.
We don't care. You commission. Whatever
you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll keep the Jets in there.
Okay.
I would add the Steelers. We have a marital connection within the franchise, so that'd be cool to watch them fight and claw at each other. That'd be nice twice a year. So I'll put the Jets and the Steelers, and I gotta put one more, huh? Ooh, this is a tough. Jets, Steelers.
I'm really interested in this part because right now we got a lot of 10-7 games going on.
Yeah.
You know what? This is Buffalo.
Really?
It's a lot of New
Just
York.
because of proximity?
Yeah.
So y'all ain't traveling nowhere.
No.
Y'all riding bikes.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy. No excuses. No travel fatigues. Go out there and play football.
Pittsburgh's like, hey, what about us? We're like, hey, you're the farthest we were.
Sorry about your look.
You're over state lines, yeah. All right. We're gonna do work, play, live. For those who don't know, work, play. I'm gonna give you 3 names. You're gonna tell me who you would rather work with, who you would rather live next to, be your neighbor, and which person you would rather hang out with. 3 names are me, Herb, and Bo. Now you're sweating.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we are recording.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
Work, play, live, Raj, Herb, and Bo. And don't start looking around.
Define play again?
You just, hey, man, we're going to go out tonight, have a couple drinks, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, this is your hangout person.
Your hangout. Your hangout buddy, whoever you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is a trap. This whole show was a trap.
Exactly.
Yes. Now I'm supposed to be mad at me. Like, this is messed up.
Like Kat said,
man, I can't wait to see the group text after this.
I ain't saying nothing in the group text. This is not right, man. Stupid like that. Don't be a family, man.
Tell him you're doing this under protest. You're doing this under protest.
No. I'm gonna answer, but whatever, man. This is like great. So me and Herb gonna play.
Boom.
Now.
So you're saying Herb. Me and Bo are boring? Wow.
No, I won't say that.
Wow.
I got no. There's a reason why, because I don't drink. So I'm gonna be this day's driver. I'm helping him out. Okay.
Okay. Who are you playing with? Or who are you living and who's your work?
Working and living with. Woo. I'm gonna live with Raj. I love babies. I help him out. Maybe curse some favor with him. Babysitting. Maybe he'll like me more.
So you're saying I'm not a good coworker? Wow.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm working both for a week.
Roger's just ready to take offense at whatever you say.
Yeah.
I'm going to work with Bo because he has certain sensibilities that.
Wow.
He's a quality employee.
Oh my gosh, Herb and I don't take work seriously. That's what he's saying. We are just We would be at work joking around, kicking the printer, and doing all kinds of stupid stuff.
Basically.
Yeah.
Sneaking drinks at lunchtime.
Sneaking drinks, yeah. Hey, let's go have some beers, and we'll be back at 4, maybe.
And Randy, to your last comment, I totally forgot to get that set up, man. I apologize. Randy's trying to teach me some stuff, and I'm a terrible student. I guess to Mr. U's point, I'm a terrible work person. But
yeah,
I do have some good alcohol.
Brother made that point, not me.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hang out.
By the way, the alcohol they were talking about in there, some peanut butter screwball whiskey. I've got that in the freezer right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know nothing.
Yeah. It's good for shots, man. I don't know when to sip on it. But
a screwball, that's a real thing?
At least Mr. U wants to hang out with you, Herb. He don't want to hang out with me.
Davis, I'm an okay worker.
Bro,
person. Thank you.
You're gonna be at the house together all the time.
Huh?
I leave Herb in the street. I come back home to you, bro.
With your neighbor, it's kind of like, oh man, I'm taking out the recycle. There he goes. He's gonna want to talk to me.
Roger's just looking for a reason to take a.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm at the house. Man. You need to be more thankful, bro.
All right, Mr. U, tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yes. Yeah.
We're on Facebook at TCM Mr. U and everywhere else, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube at They Call Me Mr. U. Mondays, 9 a.m. EST. All 4 of the guys are in there with us. They're all co-hosts. We're loving what's going on with the podcast. And of course, you can find us scattered around on YouTube on Tuesday and Thursday for some live episodes that we are blowing out this as well. And my face sometimes shows up in other places as well. So, like here. So, thank you guys for allowing me to come back again and for putting me into this trap. I'm scarred and I think I need therapy, but
you and her can go out after this.
Yeah, well, hey, I'll take you out, man. I'll be the designated driver.
I need actual help, not that kind of libation. I need help. Not that.
Hey, on a serious note, we appreciate you for coming on, man.
Definitely, man. It's always a good time, man. So, and Randy, totally not true, man. That just for that, we're putting you in the next game, so you better watch. So, we have
Randy, man. No, if it's gonna be any kind of a pity, and it's gonna come to me. Not you, Randy. You've been taking shots all day, brother. You ain't no pity. Don't try it. This is the pity program. This is the pity party. I got a party hat on. This is my show.
And we'll end on that. Great hangout, Kat. Thanks for listening. Roll Tide. I had fun tonight. I think I will go take a shot of screwball whiskey to end this one. So
I will not be doing that. I gotta go check in with the Rugrats. So yeah.
Well, Mr. You said he'll babysit, so you're good.
Oh yeah.
Very appreciative.
Since we're neighbors.
No, we live in the same house, right?
No, we're neighbors.
Yeah, you're neighbors.
Same difference,
right.
man.
For Mr. U, for Herb and Rod, the Herb and Rod podcast, please check us all out. Like, subscribe. Stu, always a pleasure having you on here. Thank you very much, man. Good luck in the game.
Yes.
And for everyone else,
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, everybody. And we'll end with Randy's. Yep. Kid be smiling. We appreciate you, Randy. Everybody have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.